Hello everyone, it's me Tabo and welcome to another episode of Coding for Superheroes. It's been a while, but yeah, I'm back at it. So I just want to announce that I've been working on the Threejs editor tutorial. This is part 2. So I realized that there were quite a few people that were interested in the last tutorial that I created. So then I just decided to go deeper. Anyway, I enjoy exploring the Threejs editor for learning purposes, really, you know what I mean? It's my way of kind of understanding what you can do with Threejs, its real potential, and also how to kind of develop apps, you know, whether it's a game engine or whatever. So for me, this is just fun work. I would probably do it, you know, even if no one was interested in it anyway. So for the fact that some people were interested in it, so I just decided, okay, cool. I have a project idea that I wanted to explore, so I just decided to just go for it, you know, because the last time anyway, the first one was pretty basic. It was mainly on working with geometry or importing stuff or just adding stuff to your scene and moving things around, changing materials and that sort of thing. I never really touched even on the coding aspect, how you can script on the editor and what that even looks like, really. So there are already examples, but yeah, I will just kind of go through all of that, and yeah, we're gonna basically create something and then you can see how it all works. I think it's very fascinating, you know, so I hope that you find it just as interesting. But at the moment, this is a devlog, so I'm just going to take you through what I've done so far. Now, it's still not finished. Still quite a few things that still need to be done, but most of the work is actually done because I kind of took a gap, you know, quite a long gap, I'd say. So yeah, without saying a lot, let's just kind of check out what I've done already, you know. Afterwards, we can talk about it a little bit just as to where the idea came from or just how everything came together, you know. And you can also let me know, you know, in the comment section whether you're interested in this tutorial or not. You know, if it's something that is of interest, let me know, you know. I mean, it also gives me more motivation to like put it out there. Yeah, so your feedback is much appreciated. But yeah, without rambling a lot, let's just jump right in. There you go, the stage where all the magic happens. All this is built in the Threejs editor. As you can see, we have a room with 4 pillars and 4 crystals, all made from platonic solid shapes. We also have a main character in the center of it all, and of course our enemy character at the top right corner. Everything is composed of basic shapes, which is all that you can do within the editor. The lighting is quite simplistic. Mainly the middle part is illuminated and the corridor parts are darker. This is where our enemy character will be moving about, and they'll be illuminating the space with their torch, light/motion sensor. Nothing is programmed at the moment, it's just objects that are waiting to be brought to life with code. In this part, I proceed to implement the character controller. As you can see, the player is moving swiftly about the stage. Our enemy character behaves more like an automaton. Its movements are simple. It will mainly be going up and down, patrolling the corridor. There's no collision system at the moment, so you can pretty much walk through everything, but that will be implemented at a later stage. So I guess for now, it's just free reign on the terrain. I've added 3 more enemy characters, and each one is stationed in their respective post. As you can see, the enemy character movements are simplistic. I used raycasting to calculate the distance between the enemy and the wall, so as soon as it reaches a certain distance to the wall, then it will turn around and proceed to move in the opposite direction. Collision detection is officially active, so that's why our character is a bit confused there. He's still wondering why he can't walk through those walls, because in his mind he's pretty sure that he did it the last time. Well, seems like our guy is in for a few tough lessons ahead of him. Nothing that a few bumps and bruises won't fix. Okay, now that we've established some basic rules, let's put them to the test. Our enemy character is supposed to detect intruder movements. Let's see if he's up to the task. Spot on. It seems like these guys are not the type to sleep on the job. Detection is indicated by the green light turning red after the intruder has been detected. The colorful like buttons in the middle of the corridor next to the wall are the activation switches. We can see a UI pop up when contact is made with the switch. This is the switch that the player has to turn on in order to activate the crystals in the main room. Seems like we're making good progress. If you've noticed, there are these cage-like objects suspended over the switches. These are meant to barricade the switch once an intruder is detected. During alarm, they will quickly slide down to conceal the switch, making it inaccessible. So far so good. This is my first attempt at a third-person camera movement. It's a bit rough and disorientating, so no shame if you feel like vomiting after this. I played around with the camera, adjusted it a bit, and I decided to stick with the settings. I think it's better than the last time, so if you still feel like vomiting, then maybe you just don't have the stomach for this game. Moving right along. I went back to refine the UI pop-up a bit, and one of the main features is to be able to activate the switch by checking the input button, which will then activate the crystal. Pay attention to the color of the crystal when the game starts. They're all grayed out, and only after the switch has been turned on, then the corresponding crystal should have its color back. You can now see from turning on both switches that you now have two crystals that are activated. Last but not least, I added another object, and you can see there's a red book on the floor. When you make contact with it, there'll be a pop-up with information that should guide the player about what to do to solve the puzzle. Okay, so now that we've covered this part, I just want to go back a little bit and kind of discuss some aspects of the game which are still vague, or rather have holes in them. They could be holes or they could be part of the challenge. I don't know, but let's talk about it for a bit. Okay, cool. So now that that part is over and done with, let's just kind of like backtrack a bit. Okay, so here's the premise for the game, right? You have a character that's in an environment, and they're supposed to get out of this environment, right? The only way that they can get out is to solve a particular puzzle. They have to activate these crystals, and once these crystals are activated, then they will open up a fifth crystal, which is supposed to generate a portal, and that portal will be then the way out, right? That's how you escape this environment. As to how you got there, there's no real story behind it. I just basically decided to just take a character and just dump it in this environment, and so it's almost something like you just wake up in this environment, and my way of trying to then at least make it easy is that within this your immediate environment, it should be already clear. There should be signs of what you should do, right? For instance, the book, obviously I will highlight it so that it's like the one thing that pops out, because if I don't do that, then the first thing that you might probably do as a player is to go out, and then you will then meet the hostiles, and then that will be the end of you. Okay, that could also be okay. I don't think that that's actually even necessarily a bad thing, because you kind of like, you can learn from your mistakes and then slowly try to figure out, or you already know that, okay, that's not the way to go. But so these are the things that I mentioned when I was talking about holes. Okay, so that's the one thing. The one question that I was asking myself is, okay, let's say you've been detected, right? The character's been detected, or the intruder. Yes, now all the characters are on high alert, right? The cages come down, they conceal the switches, so obviously from now on the switches are no longer accessible. So what happens? What is the consequence, right? Because something has to happen. You either have to die or get arrested or whatever. So yes, I didn't want to involve guns. I didn't want to have like any shooting, any bullets, or any laser guns or anything like that. So my question was like, okay, what's going to happen? So as I was thinking about it, then I thought, okay, it should be more like an environment that is somewhat hostile, kind of like your Indiana Jones kind of setup, where the environment has traps within it. So one of the traps is that when you get detected, then there should be a gas that is released. Once the whole system has been put on high alert, then a gas should be released. Okay, cool. So I decided to go with that. So that means that I should come up with I should create like a particle emitter, right? That's going to emit the gas. Where the gas is going to come from, that's another question. Okay, is it going to come from a different source, or are there going to be like pipes that are running in the corners? I mean, the places that I thought of was the corners in the whole setting, and that in each corner there will be like an object which will then once the alarm has been set on, maybe barrels or something like that will come out, and then the smoke, or the gas will be emitted from there. Or the other thing could be the characters themselves, right? Once they're also on high alert, then they'll kind of like transform, you know, go into like offense mode. They'll maybe just be still, and then maybe from the back and the front there'll be barrels that will come out, and from these barrels then the gas will start filling up the place. Okay, so that's kind of, now I have a good idea of where to go with this. So the other thing is the interaction, like what kind of particles like how realistic do I want it to be? You know, I really don't want it to be realistic, okay, because if I'm going to create particles, then they should be emitted only within that space, right? So how do I confine them within that space? Do they interact with the walls? Because obviously, like, without any collisions, the gas is just going to be bleeding through the walls. That's one thing that I have to think about. So I don't want it to be realistic. So my one solution to that was using a cheap mist effect. It's actually something that I saw in one of the old examples. If you go to the Threejs forum, they have like a collection of examples, I think dating to like 2017 or 2018, something like that. So each year there's like a collection of examples, you know, from different people. So on one of those examples, there's a cheap mist effect where it looks like it's a fog that just kind of rises to the surface, right? So I thought that would work nicely, so that when the gas starts pouring in, then this fog will start lifting up, so that it just quickly kind of envelops the space. And you know, it should work in a way that you can't also differentiate between the smoke or the gas, and it should just look like it's actually these gas particles that are filling up the space. Okay, that's the idea. I'm still yet to test it, so I have created the particle emitter to a point where I'm okay with it. You know, I also try to steer away from like really complex, because I looked at different like particle emitter examples, and a lot of them were like really complicated with like shaders. Like, I don't want to do like shader where, like, I don't want complex shaders, not for this particular thing. You know, it's meant to be like very simplistic. So I'm trying to like keep things as simple as possible. As you can also see already from the design and everything, it's just like kind of prototype like look. So there won't be like real characters or animations or things like that. But anyway, but in terms of like lighting, maybe some effects, I think that would be nice. For instance, like when the crystals are activated, okay, I would like to create some nice kind of particle effects for when this like fifth crystal is popping up, you know, to get the whole portal thing. It would be cool to have something that kind of looks exciting, because it's like the grand finale, right? So it should have like a climax to it. So far, yes, these are the things that I'm kind of dealing with, or the problems that I'm solving in my head. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So I will basically update you with all of that. But yeah, one thing that I also have to mention is that, yeah, if you've made it to this part of the video, just please subscribe, you know, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, don't miss out. So yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so back to the work. I will then update you in the next video and let you know what else I've done. But overall, yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks for being a great sport. So till the next one, I'm out. Peace.